The reality TV world has been buzzing nonstop ever since Stephen McBee Jr., the breakout star of the McBee Dynasty, made what can only be described as one of the boldest and most unexpected moves of his young life. At an event surrounded by flashing cameras, curious fans, and the ever-watchful eye of social media, Stephen stunned not only Calah Jackson, but also the entire Dynasty fanbase with a public gesture no one saw coming. In a moment that instantly set the internet ablaze, Stephen made his feelings for Calah crystal clear in front of everyone, and that single act sent shockwaves across the fandom. For Calah Jackson, who has built her image on quiet strength, charm, and a level-headed presence amid the chaos of the McBee family drama, this public display presented her with a crossroads. Would she respond immediately and embrace the spotlight, or would she take her time, letting the rumor mill spin itself into a frenzy? At first, she chose silence, and that silence only fueled more speculation. But now, Calah has finally spoken out, and her words are painting a picture far more complicated, emotional, and revealing than fans ever imagined. After days of whispers, headlines, and endless social media debates, Calah decided it was time to address Stephen Jr.'s surprising move. Known for carefully choosing her words and projecting calm in a family full of heated personalities, Calah broke her silence in a way that was both deliberate and commanding. Sources close to Calah reveal that her statement was not a rushed emotional reaction. Instead, it was measured, thoughtful, and deeply personal. She thanked fans for their outpouring of love and support, but she also didn't shy away from addressing the weight of the moment. Calah admitted that while she respects Stephen Jr. and the bond they formed in the whirlwind of the McBee Dynasty, the public gesture caught her completely off guard. Just like the audience, she hadn't been prepared for something so bold, so sudden, and so very Stephen. What makes this story even more captivating is the vulnerability Calah allowed her fans to see. She didn't dismiss Stephen's move as a stunt, nor did she play it off as harmless drama. Instead, she acknowledged how deeply it touched her, while also being honest about her conflict. Life, as Calah reminded everyone, doesn't always move at the pace of television drama. Even under the blinding spotlight of reality fame, she's still a young woman figuring out what love, commitment, and the future truly mean for her. This blend of honesty and vulnerability is exactly why fans gravitate toward Calah. She doesn't get swept up in theatrics. She doesn't perform for the cameras the way others in the dynasty sometimes do. Instead, she brings authenticity, and in this case, she turned what could have been a messy public scandal into a heartfelt conversation about respect, timing, and personal boundaries. The moment Calah's statement hit social media, the frenzy surrounding Stephen Jr.'s grand gesture reached new heights. Headlines exploded across entertainment blogs and reality TV news outlets. Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok became flooded with fan takes. Some praised Calah for her grace under pressure, refusing to be pushed into a quick decision. Others wondered aloud if this could be the beginning of a more serious, long-term love story between the two dynasty stars. The fact that Stephen chose to go public in such a dramatic way only added fuel to the fire. Was this his way of showing true, passionate love, or was it a rash decision, born from the intense emotions of fame, family pressures, and constant cameras? And perhaps the biggest question of all, how will Calah navigate the heightened spotlight now fixed firmly on her every move? It's important to recognize the power dynamics at play here. Stephen Jr., the heir to the McBee empire, has always been known for his boldness, in business, in family arguments, and now in love. By making his gesture so public, he put Calah in a position where silence could no longer be her shield. But in true Calah fashion, she flipped the script. By speaking on her own terms, in her own time, she reminded everyone that she is not someone to be defined or cornered by anyone else's choices, not even Stephen's. Her words carried a quiet authority, They underscored her independence and her strength, and they made it clear that while Steven's act may have been public, her heart and her decision would remain entirely her own. So, what does this mean moving forward? That's the million-dollar question fans can't stop asking. Some believe Calah's thoughtful response leaves the door wide open for a deepening romance between her and Steven Jr. Others argue that her hesitation signals caution, that while she cares deeply, she's not ready to let a dramatic gesture dictate her future. What we do know is this: Calah is not rushing. Her statement reflects a woman who values stability, respect, and authenticity above all else. And whatever happens between her and Steven Jr., it will be on her terms, not dictated by the cameras, the audience, or even the McBee legacy itself. So now, we turn it over to you. What do you think about Calah Jackson finally breaking her silence after Stephen McBee Jr.'s surprising public move? Do you believe this is the start of a long-lasting love story, or was it just an emotional outburst that left everyone, including Calah, shocked? We'd love to hear your thoughts, so drop a comment below and join the conversation. And before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and tap the notification bell so you never miss another update on the McBee Dynasty and your favorite reality TV stars. We've got plenty more drama, surprises, and behind-the-scenes stories coming your way. What makes Stephen McBee Jr. and Calah Jackson's story so compelling is that it's not just about two people, it's about the backdrop of a dynasty. The McBee Dynasty has introduced viewers to the complex inner workings of one of Missouri's most intriguing families, a family whose life is a blend of agriculture, wealth, ambition, and constant drama. From the very beginning, Stephen Jr. stood out. Unlike his brothers, who often seemed more comfortable working in the family business or staying out of the spotlight, Stephen embraced the cameras, the fame, and the attention that came with reality television. His charisma made him a fan favorite, but his boldness often landed him in situations that stirred controversy. And then came Calah. From her very first appearance, she was different. Fans noticed it immediately. While other personalities on the show leaned into the drama, Calah often stayed calm, composed, and strikingly real. Her interactions with Stephen were refreshing. Not forced, not staged, but layered with the kind of chemistry that felt natural. Which is why Stephen's recent public gesture toward her created such a massive stir. Let's break down the impact. For Stephen, this move wasn't just about romance. It was about proving something. In a family where decisions are often scrutinized and every choice seems to be weighed against the McBee legacy, going public with his feelings for Calah sent a very clear message. He was willing to make bold choices, even if it meant risking criticism. But boldness comes at a price. By putting Calah in the spotlight in such a dramatic way, Stephen also shifted the narrative. Suddenly, this wasn't just about his feelings. It was about her response. And while some fans cheered him on for his bravery, others questioned whether he was being impulsive, reckless, or even unfair to Calah by placing her in such a pressurized situation. Calah's response, though, managed to take back control. Instead of letting Stephen's grand gesture dictate the storyline, she reframed the entire conversation. Her statement reminded everyone that she is not simply Stephen's love interest. She's her own person with her own values, goals, and boundaries. And that's what makes her so relatable. Fans see themselves in Calah, someone navigating love in the face of immense pressure, someone who refuses to compromise her self-respect just to please an audience, and someone who proves that patience can be powerful. As you can imagine, the internet has been divided. On TikTok, fan edits of Stephen's public gesture are everywhere. Clips set to romantic music show him pouring his heart out, with captions like, "This is what love looks like." Supporters argue that Stephen's move was genuine, heartfelt, and exactly what Calah deserved after months of chemistry on screen. But on Twitter and Reddit, the debate looks very different. Critics point out that Stephen has a history of acting on impulse, and they worry that this gesture might be more about spectacle than sincerity. Some even suggest that the move was designed less for Calah and more for the cameras, a way to boost attention on both the show and the McBee brand. Meanwhile, Instagram has become a battleground for speculation. Calah's followers carefully analyze every word of her captions, every emoji, every like. Did she subtly signal affection? Did she hint at hesitation? Fans are reading between the lines like detectives, searching for clues about her true feelings. Let's not forget, the McBee family dynamic adds another layer of complexity. Behind the scenes, the brothers and their father, Stephen Sr., all have their own opinions about Calah and Stephen's relationship. Sources suggest that not everyone is thrilled about the way Stephen handled things. Some family members worry that his impulsive behavior could distract from the McBee legacy, while others argue that Calah is exactly the grounding influence he needs.